here. I'm here with my good friend and my preferred home inspector, Tony Veltri of Canadian Residential Inspection Services. I want to thank you, first of all, for being here with me today and speaking about your business.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Vinay.
Awesome. So I'm sure people know who you are, or most people know who you are, but for those who don't, why don't you let them know, who you are and how long you've been in the inspection business for?
Yes. So my name is Anthony Veltri. Some people call me Tony as well. Fine with either or. I'm actually a certified home inspector with Canadian Residential Inspection Services, and I've been doing that for about 5 years now.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question that I'm asking everybody is, with all this that's going on, obviously times are different. Everybody's having to adapt in their business to fit these times and to still be able to operate in these times. But I'm just curious, what kind of changes have you had to make in your business to continue on?
Well, I mean, most things have pretty much stayed the same. We do obviously kindly ask that, if the buyer is going to be present, that they just don't follow during the inspection. And it's just to maintain social distance out of respect. And, if we do find something significant, we'll obviously, call them over and explain that deficiency to them. But aside from that, I mean, business as usual. We've also implemented, virtual inspections for those who are doing pre-listing inspections. So if a buyer, again, wants to go buy a house, they'll have a pre-listing home inspection, and we can essentially have a video conference with that buyer at the home. So they can ask us any questions about the report, and they can go and they can show us if they have any questions. We can do that from essentially anywhere. So that's pretty much it, though. Everything else is business as usual.
Yeah. So yeah, like that was actually something that I was curious about, because like we're doing Zoom stuff, we're doing Zoom consultations, we're doing Zoom virtual showings, right? So I guess you go in with your phone and you just kind of point out any issues with them on the phone, like a FaceTime or Zoom or something?
Yeah, so what I essentially do is I go in, let's just say we're doing it on the seller side. So I'll go in, do the inspection for the seller, and we'll have a report prepared. And if that buyer goes in on a visit and they like the house and they really want to purchase the house, but they have the inspection report and they have questions, or they saw something in the house that's maybe not addressed, they can, use our video services and give us a conference call, and we'll be there to walk them through any deficiencies that they see in the house, or any issues that they have with the report. We'll explain everything to them so that obviously they can proceed in making a decision with the house.
Wow, that's amazing, because like that benefits both the seller that has the inspection and the buyer, because the seller is kind of relying on you to point out the deficiencies, and the buyer, if they have any questions, you're going out above and beyond to kind of put them at ease with answering any of their questions. So I think that's amazing.
It's really been working out well. I think it's something that, even after COVID-19, it might even just stick, because it's been, it's just, a picture tells 1,000 words, but if you don't understand what you're seeing, it's really hard to understand. So it's always nice to have that, that information coming from the horse's mouth. And that's something that we've been able to provide during these times. So definitely.
I think that's huge. I think that's so valuable that you're going above and beyond and kind of offering that service in these times, right? And whereas before, like they probably wouldn't be able to do that with you, right? And now they're actually getting you and your expertise firsthand. So I think that's amazing. Everybody's home. Everybody's has time. I've heard of people wanting to do spring cleaning and get things ready. I love that you're posting all those tips on your Instagram page about
Yeah.
things that you can do around the house, because everybody has
Yeah.
time. There's no excuses now. But I guess, what are a few typical issues that you would find in a home, like most common, that homeowners could address and repair right now, like given the current circumstance? I know you can't go to, I heard, I don't know for firsthand, but I've heard you can't just walk into Home Depot anymore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
That's part of the problem, right?
yeah,
So if there's things that we can go over that don't necessarily need us to go out and purchase things, we may have ladders or something like that. We could do something like cleaning out our eaves troughs, just making sure they're all clean, making sure that the water can flow properly, because obviously it's springtime and we are going to see a lot of water. So we definitely want to make sure that those are flowing properly. And if you do have one installed, it's a sump pump. Obviously, again, it's springtime, so we're going to see a lot of water, and we want to make sure that that's functioning properly and that the discharge is away from the foundation. We want to make sure that any sort of water that leaves the house is not pooling beside the foundation. So make sure that the discharge, obviously the pipe itself, is away from the foundation, ideally 6 to 8 feet. If you have it going into a weeping system, that's fine, but you may want to schedule a plumber to come in and make sure that it's clean and not clogged or cracked pooling water next to the foundation.
yeah. And so, like, those are great tips. I've been kind of doing this kind of segment with a bunch of different people. So we had some really good tips from the home stager on what they can do to organize and do all that stuff, right? So really just trying to get everything ready. And I tell people, you don't have to be selling right now or thinking, like, the thing is to plan,
Yeah.
and to have the time to actually do all these things. Because if you were at work, or if you had your regular schedule, you wouldn't have the time to go up to the eaves trough and pull out all those leaves. Like,
Right.
like it would probably not get done. Let's be honest, right? And those things come up in a report, and they're just simple things
Exactly.
that an inspector has to point out. But the less kind of boxes that you have to tick, I think the better it looks for a buyer, right?
Well, of course, and the better it's maintained, it's gonna give a better result, right?
Yeah.
And more people, I think, are happier in a situation where a lot of things are maintained, and it's one less thing to worry about when someone is buying a home.
Yeah, exactly. I always say it's one less thing for a buyer to calculate dollars and cents in their mind, right?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate the tips. If people want to get a hold of you, if they want to book an inspection, if they just want to, chat with you about your services, what's the best way to do that?
So we're always on Instagram, obviously, so you can always get in touch with us on there. We also have Facebook, Google, or of course, you can visit our website at www.canadianresidential.com.
Awesome. And your Instagram and Facebook?
It's facebook.com/Canadian Residential, and Instagram is mine is at Inspector Tones.
Inspector Tones. Love that. Awesome. And there's so many great tips there, guys. Feel free to check it out. Give Tony a call if you guys have any questions, or if you guys are going to be booking a pre-home inspection or a buyer's home inspection, and he will be definitely able to help you out with that. So thanks again, Tony. I really appreciate your time, and
No worries,
hopefully we see each other sooner rather than later. Hopefully we get over this quickly so we can get back to doing what we do.
Absolutely. I'll give you a big hug when I see you.
Awesome. Social distance.
Yeah. I mean, when this whole thing's over, of course.
All right, Tony. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
All right. Be safe. Be well. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.